the Celtics, they looked poised to go on a run, but a lot has changed since then. A devastating injury to Jason Tatum combined with trade sending out Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, and this is what you have left for the potential starting five on opening day. Mr. Marks, what can Boston still do here in free agency?
Yeah, I think the bank is closed in Boston right now. I think the most important numbers to take a look at is the luxury tax and the total. That's roughly over $250 million. Malika, at one time, that number was $550 million. In a period of 1 week, they have saved $300 million by trading Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. They reached a deal on Luka Garza. They're going to lose Al Horford to free agency, and they're also going to lose Luke Cornett to free agency. Both guys are going to be gone here. I won't tell you where they're going yet. We'll break that. But
heck of a tease.
But both are going to be gone here. And I think the big thing next is going to be certainly what happens with Anthony Simons, who they acquired in a trade. He certainly is in the last year. And of course, there'll be speculation regarding Jaylen Brown or Derek White. But as we've said all along, eventually he's coming back. Jason Tatum is coming back, and you would want these two players surrounding him when he does come back.
Let's put a pin in that for just 1 second and stick with Al Horford, Mark Spears. What are the plans for him in the coming days? It may not be today, but Bobby is saying that he does not expect him to be on this roster.
Yeah, I'm being told, and I know UD doesn't want to hear this, that he's taking his time, that there's 3 to 4 teams. I know there's been a lot of speculation about Golden State, but we'll wait to see if that three-point shot gets to Chase. He's taking his time and seeing what else is out there.
Well, we have a 3-hour special tomorrow, so don't worry about it. Take your time up until then. But Bobby does have a good point here, Udonis. Eventually, Jason Tatum is coming back. He's posted his 25 days out recovery, his 45 days, saying that there's been some up and down. At some points, he's starting to wrap his head around it, and other days are incredibly hard. I can't imagine what that's like. But also, he's a winner. He wants to come back to a roster where he can say, all right, let's go get this again. How do the Celtics try to strike that balance?
Well, I think this year you see what Jaylen Brown is. You see if he can be the guy. We've always talked about who's the 1A, who's the 1B, who's the 1C, 2, 3, all this. Can he be the guy? No, they're not going to win a championship this year, but can he be the guy to lead this team? Can he be the Eastern Conference Finals Jaylen Brown? Can he be the Jaylen Brown that was in the finals that took the challenge against Luka Doncic? Can he hold these guys accountable and be that leader and be your best player? So now when you do get Jason Tatum back, that just makes you that much more better as a basketball team. I understand they have a lot of decisions to make, but in my opinion, I think you take this year and you see really what you have with a player of Jaylen Brown without Jason Tatum being in the lineup for a full season.
Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White. Between the three of them, they make almost $140 million. That is their big three. We have seen throughout the course of NBA history, we see teams win titles separate years apart. They have different supporting casts. The Bulls, the first three-peat, and the Bulls, the second three-peat. Yeah, Jordan and Pippen, they had a whole different supporting cast. We saw the Warriors, the team that they won with in 2017 and 18 was completely different than the team they won 2022 around their big three. So this is what the Celtics are doing. They're keeping this big three. They're keeping Tatum, Brown, and White, and now they're going to try to retrofit around them, especially after this gap year, and try to win it again with a different set of supporting.
Well, that's saying something, because at one point we did have questions about whether or not Jaylen Brown and Derek White would continue to be on this roster in this sort of gap year that we're seeing for the Boston Celtics, and right now all signs are pointing to yes, they will be. Of course, the Boston Celtics lost to the New York Knicks here in the 2025 NBA playoffs. The Knicks' legs are in an interesting spot because they're a really dang good roster, but they still don't have a coach. How do you square where New York is at right now?
Yeah, other than that, Malika, everything's fine in New York. You think about it, they just went through a draft. Now they're going into free agency, and they do not know who their head coach is going to be. I know they're interviewing some guys right now. I think Mike Brown on a second interview, so who knows? Maybe they're moving closer there, and that's a proven coach in this league. He's got a lot of experience. The question is going to be, does his personality jive with the guys that they currently have? It's a very talented roster, and you look at some of the issues of these other teams in the Eastern Conference. We just talked about Boston. Look at Indiana, what they're going to be dealing with without Tyrese Halliburton. Cleveland starting the year unhealthy and also flamed out in the postseason. So there's a great opportunity here for New York. They need to get this right. So if they're taking their time to make sure they get the guy they want, remains to be seen.
And I heard they're trying to get something done before Summer League starts. Mike Brown's name is rising. Let's see if Mike gets in there.
I was just checking the date. All right, so we're about a little under 2 weeks away here from Summer League, but we heard at one point they wanted to have a coach in place for the NBA draft because you would think you want to kind of look at players around free agency, around the draft that you're bringing in to fit the style of the head coach that is the steward of this team. That hasn't been the case, but maybe.
NBA